where does natural language learning begin? That's the basic question we want to answer. And before getting to the core process of that, I want to talk about three academic disciplines that should help us understand where natural language learning begins, and that's social cognitive neuroscience, embodied cognition, and the neuroscience of storytelling. So those are three areas that will really um, bolster the theory and the practice of natural language learning. So I want to uh, show, talk a little bit about uh, some researchers and their basic ideas. So uh, we have social interaction from, and these ideas are regarding language learning. What's the core? What's the basic? What's the fundamental process? So Patricia Kuhl says it's social interaction. And Krashen, one of his is affective filter, which I've changed in a positive way, affective attachment. And then we have two that are not directly related to language in their research, but I think it's directly related to research, and I hope to show that. One is identity engagement by Cohen and Garcia, and another is the belonging hypothesis by Baumeister and Leary. And the main guy who I think stumbled upon something wonderful is Dr. J. Marvin Brown. And his one word in that is really gets at where he's coming from is the word wonder. And you can build a whole framework around these ideas. Now, also we have Matthew Lieberman, who is a leader in the social cognitive neuroscience, and he talks about unconscious and the reflection, and versus the conscious and the reflective. And also in behavioral economics and other areas, they also talk a lot about unconscious, which is not given enough weight in how we go about learning. And then there's the whole to part distinction, or part to whole. And our brains are built to go whole to part, but it goes against, it's counterintuitive. And we think of building a house or building something else, we usually go part to whole. That's another aspect. Now, in order to try to focus more on what we can do, I think there's three words to focus on. And one is legacy, the second is expectations, and the third is integration. So legacy would be regarding J. Marvin Brown, and he has a very compelling story. And expectation is more on how we all operate as human beings, and what drives us, what motivates us, and how we can change our minds, and how we can fulfill our potential. And the last one is integrative thinking by Roger Martin, and he shows how to build models from a diverse range of academic disciplines, areas, business, science, and educational research, that we can combine things that don't seem like you can combine them, but you can integrate them. And it's a really powerful tool. So I think we can provide a framework where everyone can learn to learn language naturally, like we learned our first language, that it's really possible, and we can take into account everybody. So from the polyglots who learn in many different ways to the child who's learning their first language, we can have a unified framework, and then that will help everyone learn language naturally. Thanks.